Early morning shower and storms are a low chance, but they are a possibility. More about that coming up in just a moment.
Right now this morning, the death toll climbs to 104 in Texas, including 27 from that girls' summer camp. Hear from survivors as the desperate search continues. And Governor Evers still not saying if he plans to run in 2026, how the new state budget could make that decision for him. And finally, some good news at the airport, the annoying security rule that's quietly disappearing. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. On this Tuesday, July 8th, we will send it over now to meteorologist Art Jarrett. Art, sun is coming up and it's looking nice out there this morning.
It is. We do have a blip or two still working in the forecast area over the last couple of hours here. You can see it right by crossing the river going towards La Crosse, Holman, as well as in Onalaska. So we'll keep an eye on that. But otherwise, you are 100% correct, my friend. We'll hold on to some patchy fog out there this early morning, too. Holding on to areas to the east of La Crosse, going towards Sparta, Viroqua, Soldiers Grove. You've got Black River Falls all the way down to the south as well, where there is some dense fog in some locations. We're also going to see this continue all the way to the 9 o'clock hour as it begins to dissipate, and up and out it goes. Now, Warren's had some fog activity. If this is going to come in pretty fast, sometimes these dot cameras come in and they come in pretty fast and they don't at all. But I'm going to move on. We'll show you Eau Claire. You can see it. They've got a little bit of patchy fog down to 7 miles of visibility, but some sunshine still holding on. A very picturesque view right now. As we go right over to Black River Falls, you still have the wet on the lens there, so fairly dampened roadways this early morning for areas by Black River Falls as well as Sparta, where some showers are going to be coming there again for you within the next hour. You have a chance of shower activity for La Crosse, which is now down to a 20% chance, so you're not seeing that, but Eau Claire still has a 30% chance for the 9 o'clock hour this morning with sunshine to prevail for them today. More showers will come back down along I-90, as you can see for there, and eventually we'll see more of these showers, as I mentioned before. That's where they are, and that's where they're going to be headed, down towards I-90, with more showers continuing into the early evening hours as well in your forecast. Back to you.
This morning, the search for survivors of last week's flash flooding in Texas continues. Officials now say more than 100 people have died, including nearly 30 from that children's sleepaway camp. Meanwhile, local authorities continue to face mounting questions over what more could have been done to alert the public to the dangers as the waters rose. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham reports.
God. Vigils in cities around Texas Monday honor the more than 100 people killed in the tragic July 4th weekend flash floods. The frantic search is intensifying as hundreds of rescue workers, some volunteers, sift through debris in hopes of finding those still missing.
It's complicated by the broad, the mass of people that we're looking for. This is going to take a while.
10 children and 1 counselor from Camp Mystic in hard-hit Kerr County are still unaccounted for. Officials confirm that at least 27 campers and counselors died in the floods. This video shows survivors from the all-girls camp singing hymns after they were rescued. The historic flooding has led to criticism over early warning systems. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick tells CBS News that state lawmakers could consider funding new sirens in the coming weeks.
Maybe that would have sparked people to say, oh, we have a massive disaster like 5 minutes away.
Meanwhile, donations are now pouring in.
It's about picking each other up
as communities come together to mourn and rebuild. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The Trump administration is facing criticism over recent National Weather Service cuts following the tragedy. The White House press secretary said the agency provided early and consistent warnings. And we are closely monitoring the situation. We'll bring you updates as they develop on air and online at news8000.com. Closer to home this morning, 7 people are safe after what's being called a miracle rescue near the Genoa Lock and Dam. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says a boat went through the roller gates when its engine stalled. The people tried to paddle away from the gates. They had to abandon their boat and climb up a ladder to safety. The fire chief says in 42 years, he's rarely seen anyone survive going through the dam.
Normally in these type of events, things don't work out very well. So it was pretty awesome thing that they survived it. And we can't give these people that work here enough credit for helping them out.
Amazing work for sure, and officials say boaters should avoid getting to the north end of the dam due to those strong currents. A Winona man charged with murder gets $1 million bond. 38-year-old Jacob Claver is accused of killing 37-year-old Josh Pigney last month in a Holman home. Police found Pigney dead in a bedroom with signs of a violent struggle. Claver faces life in prison if convicted. New this morning, Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman is out of the ICU. Hoffman and his wife were shot in their home last month. Just 90 minutes later, former State Representative Melissa Hortman, her husband, and their dog were gunned down in their own home. Hoffman was shot 9 times. The suspected shooter, 57-year-old Vance Bolter, faces murder charges and could get the death penalty. Wisconsin passed its biennial state budget, and now the question on everyone's mind is, will Governor Tony Evers seek re-election? News 8 Now's Allison Ferget has some answers.
Governor Tony Evers said he will make an announcement on whether he's seeking re-election after the state budget has been finalized. Now that that's happened, members of both parties are anxiously awaiting his decision. Governor Evers in Eau Claire today to celebrate the state's budget being signed into law. But now Wisconsinites are wondering if they'll see Governor Evers' name on the ballot in 2026.
It's going to happen soon.
Will it happen soon?
Yeah, not in this moment, but soon. I'd say in a couple of weeks for sure.
If Evers decides to seek a third term, he could face an uphill climb. A recent Marquette poll found that 55% of Wisconsinites don't want Evers to run again. As Evers weighs his decision, political science professor Anthony Chergosky says the recent state budget will factor heavily into it.
Does he view this as a legacy budget that he can brag about as he retires, or does he want to try to build on this budget through running for re-election?
While Chergosky says it's a toss-up, Evers might run again because of the chance the Democrats take control of the state Senate.
But they got a real shot at the state Senate majority, and that would really shake up government in Madison.
But Chergosky added that Evers' age might lead him to pass the torch. If he were to do that, Chergosky says there's already a front runner for who would succeed him.
I think Josh Kaul would be the clear front runner because as the Attorney General, he has won 2 statewide elections, and that would give him a lot of credibility within the party.
But Chergosky expects more Democrats to throw their hat in the ring if there's an open seat. And while Democrats are waiting for Evers' decision, Chergosky said the announcement will also impact who enters the race for Republicans.
There are Republicans out there who might think they have a better or worse chance depending on if Evers runs. Because running against an incumbent is a very different story than running against someone who's not an incumbent, running for the open seat.
Republican Josh Schoeman has already entered the race for the governorship, but some other Republicans who have had their names floated around are Representative Tom Tiffany and former Senate candidate Eric Hovde. Reporting in Eau Claire, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now.
Happening today, a congressional candidate challenging her opponent to face voters tonight. Former Eau Claire City Council member Laura Benjamin is hosting a free town hall. She's invited Representative Derek Van Orden to replace her as host. She wants voters to ask questions about policies in an open mic format. That starts at 6 tonight at the Black River Neighborhood Beach Center. La Crosse's Parks Department asking the Common Council to renew its park security contract. The department wants $115,000 to keep security services active in the city's parks and parking ramps. The request comes after their previous contract ended last month. The deputy director says the city has seen an increase in service calls since then.
We're not looking to remove anyone from parks per se. Demographic hasn't really changed in the park, but what we have seen with security in the past is, lowering the numbers of legal activity, lowering the numbers of calls for service.
If approved, it would be the third time money from the city's contingency fund will be used for park security. The council will vote on that request on Thursday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump are celebrating what they're calling victory after last month's strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. The two leaders met in Washington last night as Israel and Hamas inch closer to a 60-day ceasefire deal. Trump says his team will soon meet with Iranian officials, telling reporters they want to talk.
We have scheduled Iran talks, and they want to talk. They took a big drubbing, I think, when we hit the 3 sites.
During his visit, Netanyahu also presented Trump with a letter nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, the Trump administration extending a federal hiring freeze, what that means for your job search. And the president announces new tariffs on 2 new countries. Amazon Prime Day starts today.
Multi-generational travel exploded during the pandemic and has only increased in popularity since then. I'm Wendy Gillette in Carmel, California, with how hotels are catering to extended families.
And we're sending you to break now with something to put the good in your morning. Time to celebrate a sweet treat. Maybe you've got some leftovers from the 4th of July. Even better, today is National Freezer Pop Day. These classic frozen treats come in all colors and flavors. They've been around for decades. And of course, they're a staple at summer picnics and parties, maybe just chilling by the pool. With the summer heat kicking into high gear, no better time to enjoy a freezer pop. And as you start to wake up this morning, maybe with a freezer pop, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city that built and owns a major railroad. That is Cincinnati, Ohio. Nice morning there. Stay with us. Your consumer news is coming up.
Right now, you're busy taking care of the people you love. Let Window World take care of the place you live. Window World, America's exterior remodeler. Improving homes, changing lives.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil. Thankfully, American Waterworks offers proven, warranted solutions. Typically less expensive than full replacement and more efficient and lightweight than mud jacking, our methods are designed to last. After all, your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose confidence, choose reliability, choose American Waterworks.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out.
See how we can from the second you log off. Getting rooftop cocktails at the Cambria Hotel. Yes. Need anything, email Janet.
But there is no Janet.
Even better, check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
So that no matter what mess you brought into this church today, no matter what addiction and what struggle, no matter how many times you've doubted God or questioned God, that because of Jesus Christ, God's not holding it over your head. Instead, there is this amazing grace, there is this unconditional love that you and I can say, God doesn't just put up with us. God loves us.
Join Pastor Mike Novotny each Sunday. Watch Time of Grace on Channel 8, WKBT.
Starting now, celebrate quality and comfort with the Made in America sale at Wesco Home. Shop trusted American brands like Smith Brothers, Lazy Boy, England, Best, Door County, and Superior Furniture, all at unbeatable prices. Right now, save on all in-stock pieces made with quality you can feel. Don't see the perfect item in stock? Save up to 30% on custom orders. Built to last, made to order, crafted with pride in the USA. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Tell them Peyton sent you.
Well, good morning to you. Taking a look at Eau Claire, it's getting brighter and nicer out there right now, as you can see. And in fact, I'm also looking behind me. Also, La Crosse is looking pretty good as well. Still looking like that Monet painting, as Alexander has already said. Hey, we take a look at what's going on, though. Still a little bit of wet on the roadways, maybe as you go into Black River Falls now. They're also tracking towards areas by Sparta and areas right by Holman, possibly getting down into Viroqua as well, with a little bit of light fog, as well as portions of this showing up with some light rainfall. Warren's also showing some fog out there right now. Visibility is down to 5 miles currently. We're also looking at 64 degrees there, but it feels like it's 65 degrees. The fog will continue as we go through the morning hours here through the 6 o'clock hour, and then by 9 o'clock we should be done getting back to visibilities back to about 10 to 12 miles. We're also having those late morning storm activity here. You can see along I-94 as well as I-90. And then in the afternoon, we're having more shower chances along I-90. That will continue into your early evening hours as well. You see the showers right now by La Crosse continuing to build Willow up going towards Black River Falls and Sparta. Also, that's going to be continuing to ramp up just a tad bit as well as we go through the morning hours. We still have a low chance for that, even though you did just see a shower pass through La Crosse. We'll also be picking up some clouds, enhancing again by the 9 o'clock hour. You're also looking at 9 o'clock for a 30% chance of showers going into areas by Eau Claire. So they've got beautiful skies now. As we roll right through the late morning hours, you can still see the possibility into the afternoon showers down along I-90. Here's another view of all those showers that will be moving toward them as well, as you can see right there, continuing on. So that's going to happen as we go through the day. I've changed this up a little bit. 85 degrees today expected with thunderstorm activity still going into the afternoon. 85 degrees for tomorrow as well with sunnier skies. Night showers for Thursday and storms possibly 84 degrees going into Friday, and that could be some heavy rainfall as well.
In your morning consumer news, the Trump administration is extending a hiring freeze on federal employees through October, it says. The original order was set to expire July 15th. The freeze applies to the executive branch. No vacant federal civilian positions can be filled, and no new positions will be created. There are exceptions for military and jobs related to immigration enforcement and national security. And the president says both Japan and South Korea will face a 25% tariff on August 1st, potentially giving them more time to negotiate deals. Trump said he takes issue with trade deficits the U.S. runs with both of those nations. In his letters, he encouraged both countries to manufacture goods in the U.S. to avoid tariffs. And Amazon Prime Day is here. Americans are expected to spend almost $24 billion during the big 4-day sales event. Several other major retailers, including Walmart and Target, are also getting in on the action this week, holding rival sales of their own. Extended families started traveling together more often during the pandemic, and the trend is not showing any signs of slowing down. Wendy Gillette has more on how hotels are creating new ways for big groups to enjoy their time together.
Eric Rivenbark from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is enjoying what's become an annual vacation with his wife, 3 kids, and his parents, this year in Europe.
You can buy gifts for Christmas or for birthdays. And while we do that, but we don't do it on the scale that we used to, and we try to give experiences.
It's the kind of sentiment spurring more multi-generational travel and why family-centric brands like Beaches are building bigger villas. Its resorts have seen a 50% increase in extended families vacationing together since the pandemic.
Families are really looking to create memories in a way that is unprecedented in the history of travel.
The Fairmont brand is also catering more to families. Some Americans visiting Alberta, Canada, make their first stop the Fairmont Pallister for a touch of Calgary's city life before heading to the mountains at Fairmont Banff Springs at Banff National Park. The hotel has a popular all-season alpine spa and a dozen dining options, and just added new family rooms with a twist.
We have 20 of these rooms here in the hotel with bunk beds, and that's a new thing for us, and it's also something that's fairly new to the luxury industry.
The Quail Lodge and Golf Club here in Carmel, California is seeing similar demand. Its redesigned 2,000 square foot villas are large enough to sleep 6 people.
Along with 2 bedrooms and a large living room, the villas feature patios and fireplaces. The Quail's managing director says they're about 30% more popular than before the pandemic.
People are looking to share experiences together. They value the time together. Families want to do things together.
The experiences at Quail, one of those we stayed at for a special rate, include golf for all ages, spa for the grown-ups and for those 14 and older, a Land Rover off-road driving school. An instructor teaches families how to navigate 12 miles of trails, a new way to drive through a challenge together. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
And if you are traveling soon, some good news for airline passengers. You may soon keep your shoes on when going through security. Sources tell CBS News the move is being instituted in phases, with only some major airports getting the new rule. Others, like LAX and New York's LaGuardia, already went ahead with that change. The TSA says they're exploring new and innovative ways to enhance the passenger experience. No more need to try to find those matching socks as you head to the airport. That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got an update on our forecast.
How about a conveyor belt with a conveyor belt that kind of relaxes your feet as you go through it too. That'd be nice. Calm everybody down. Hey, a little bit of patchy fog still holding on to Warren's right there. 64 degrees out there. The traffic is doing quite well despite any type of fog out there as well. 5 miles of visibility is your local forecast. Carrying over to Onalaska, you're looking at very fine traffic conditions out there right now. Everybody's kind of zooming on by. Eau Claire opening up the skies. Believe it or not, you do have another round of clouds coming back your way by 9 o'clock where you're going to have a shower or two kind of sweeping past the area. 7 miles of visibility there, so a little bit of light patchy fog. We'll go right into your current temperatures, still holding on to those 60s widespread. 67 in Viroqua, 69 in La Crosse. You've got Sparta as well as Black River Falls holding on to possible rainfall there. A little shower or two, but they're holding on to 65 degrees. We'll carry over to fog and low cloud activity. That's going to continue from the 5 o'clock hour. That's been going on and through the 6 o'clock hour all the way to the 7 o'clock hour. It's still maintaining some fog and low cloud activity all the way into the 9 o'clock zone there. You're looking at, speaking of zones, you're looking at all the way from Mendora all the way into Barnes Mills. 85 for Shelby. Good morning to you folks there as we carry on over to the forecast here, dropping down. 85 for Prairie du Chien. You're looking at Gays Mills, about 85 degrees, going to Viroqua at 82. You still have some showers possible with a storm or two still in the forecast for you, as well as Trempealeau. You can see that again for at least the 85 degree mark for you, as well as La Crosse. Shower and storm activity still holding on there. Pretty much everybody in the area is still holding on. Almost Center as well, 84 degrees. You're looking at that, as well as Osceola going into a little shower or two. We'll pick up Ladysmith, drier conditions under mostly sunny skies. You've got Bloomer at 84 degrees. You also have Altoona at 81 with a little shower or two and a storm. You get back down to areas right by, you go into areas right by Eau Claire. You're looking at more showers possibly, and storms are backing off. This will continue through the day as we go through the morning hours and on. It starts to kind of pop into a little bit of a smaller zone here as you go into Winona, La Crosse, and Eau Claire. I should say all the way out from Eau Claire, south of that, going towards Black River Falls. That continues to Sparta, still pumping up a little bit of shower activity all the way into the noon hour, and that begins to dissipate. Clouds track to the east out of that, and then we start to push everything down to the south by Boscobel, Richland Center, as well as Prairie du Chien. Storm activity still well up to the north, but that's out of the region there. That's the heavier stuff. But we could see some residual storm activity drifting down to the south. Eau Claire could pick up some of that by the 5 o'clock hour as well, possibly La Crosse all the way down to Viroqua. More of this continues to track a little bit out of the region, as you can see down along areas by I-90 there, and it kicks out of the region there eventually by 7 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, more storms are still holding on to areas by Boscobel as well as Prairie du Chien, and we're done. We'll carry over to the next few days, as I mentioned before, as you can see, holding on to conditions to be in those low to middle 80s to finish out the next few days. And storm activity Friday could be the biggest batch of storms coming our way. It could be heavy. We could see some damaging winds associated with that as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Still to come, the CDC says it's ending its bird flu emergency response initiative. Ahead, we'll tell you what's behind the move and how you can help feed hungry kids in our community at this week's Moon Tunes concert after the morning sports blitz.
Coming up at the Blitz, Legion baseball across the border, plus the Brewers looking to begin their series against the Dodgers on the right foot. Don't go anywhere.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at...
Well, it's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily, Jardians, at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardians can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardians and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardians may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardians. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardians is really swell, the little pill with a big story to tell.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Rotary Lex's mission is to help feed the hungry in the Coulee region. Help us meet that goal by donating at our Food for Fridays events this July. Donate non-perishable food items or cash at these 2 locations on these dates. All proceeds benefit the Hunger Task Force.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, after the holiday weekend, some area Legion teams back on the diamond last night, hoping to improve upon their record before regionals. Stoddard post 315 on the road, facing La Crescent post 595 on a beautiful night in Minnesota's Apple Capital. First inning, the home side gets on the board. Mitch Reining with a shot back up the middle to make it 1-0. Second inning, post 315, hoping to get something going on offense, but Leighton Johnson has other ideas as he steals away a hit. And the bats back to work in the second for the boys from Minnesota. Max Needfelt rips one to left to score Johnson. Then Maddox Tompton joins in on the fun as that ball to left is going to get down. That'll score Needfelt easily. Post 595 gets it done in 5 as they take this one. 13-3 is your final. Brewers opening a series with the Dodgers last night. First inning, the crew puts together a 2-out rally and welcome to Milwaukee, Andrew Vaughn. Just called up to replace Rhys Hoskins, and he goes yard in his first at bat. And the Brewers chase all-star Yoshinobu Yamamoto in the first thanks to this Andrew Monasterio bloop single. 5 runs in the first frame. The newly named all-star Freddie Peralta was shoving. He limits one of the best offenses in baseball to just 5 hits in 6 innings and not a single run allowed. 7 punch-outs and a well-deserved standing ovation on his way out. Then in the 7th, Christian Yelich adding on to the lead. That opposite field blast makes it 9-0. Crew will go on to take that one by 8. Jacob Mizorowski versus Clayton Kershaw tonight. Lacrosse Loggers taking on Waterloo. Scoreless in the second inning until Cannon Sundgren comes through with a gapper to right center to score a pair, and the visitors take the lead. Then we're tied until the 6th when Savion Flowers is going to sit on the first pitch curveball, sending it into shallow right. Play cannot be made, and Eli Small comes in to score. But again, the Bucks would fight back, and they take the lead for good in their half of the 6th thanks to this single by Cole Smith. Loggers fall 8-4. These 2 teams will do battle in a doubleheader today at the Lumberyard. All right, that'll do for the Blitz. We'll see you back here later.
We're here at U.S. Cellular for Us Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them.
It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together. Swag.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
For over 25 years, Window World's provided quality products for homeowners around the country, including windows and doors. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they'll never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable fiberglass construction that provides up to 4 times the insulation value of wood. When it comes time for new windows or doors, trust America's exterior remodeler. Trust Window World.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in. Trade it in. The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in. Trade it in. If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in. Trade it
in. At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no-interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale.
Trade it in. Air conditioning stopped working? Tired of finding ways to stay cool? Don't sweat it. Give G&T Heating and Air Conditioning a call. They'll have you feeling cool as a cucumber without having to resort to, well, alternative methods.
Again.
Every great night's sleep starts with Natrol.
New Natrol Sleep and Restore for your ultimate restorative sleep.
Confidence isn't given, it's built. One choice, one moment, one step at a time. How you feel is how you play. It starts with a click. Invisalign.
Right now, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in.
Are we having the wool pulled over our eyes here?
Nope. And you get the latest phones.
High five.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
A chance of morning showers still continue to happen for La Crosse and areas down along I-90. More about that coming up in just a moment.
The death toll climbs to 104 in Texas, including 27 from that girls' summer camp. Hear from survivors as the desperate search continues. And Governor Evers still staying mum on whether he plans to run for re-election, how the new state budget could impact that. And an unfortunate announcement from Oscar winner Michael Douglas. Will have his update just ahead. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Tuesday, July 8th. Waking up to a beautiful sunrise this morning, but we'll bring in Art now. It looks nice out there, but you're still going to need the umbrella today, right?
100%, yeah.
Don't be fooled.
Yeah, just carry it with you, just to take it along as a little attachment there, or an accessory. You're going to be holding it on today. As you can see this early morning, though, definitely light to moderate shower activity. Maybe a storm or two could still occur. This will go through the morning, then again in the afternoon, then the late afternoon, and then possibly into the evening hours as well. We'll carry over to this, as you can see, along I-94 as well as I-90. Then it begins to track down to the south once we get into the afternoon, especially down along areas by Prairie du Chien and Boscobel, as well as points south going towards La Crosse and in between those areas I just mentioned. So Richland Center, you guys are in that too. By Wednesday, we take a break, get a breather, and then we hold on to a little bit of partly cloudy skies coming in for Thursday. But until then, you're looking at Eau Claire looking fantastic. A little extra cloud cover coming your way. As we go closer to the 9 o'clock hour, you still have a shower or two still working in your forecast around the 9 o'clock hour. 65 degrees for areas by Black River Falls. They've had a little bit of light rainfall in the area there. That also brought in some fairly dampened roadways. Right now it's looking good, but it's 2 miles of visibility, so fog is still holding on to your region with some low cloud activity. Now, if Warren's is going to still show me the camera, they've had a little bit of fog there as well, but it doesn't look like it's holding on, but you can see where the fog is, and this continues to go on all the way through the 7 o'clock hour as well as the 9 o'clock hour. So a chance of showers for La Crosse coming in, still coming across the river, so that is not done just yet, especially into the afternoon hours. Eau Claire has that chance to finish out as well. We get into highs for today, mostly widespread low to middle 80s. You can see those shower chances getting to La Crosse and Eau Claire all the way down to the south. You'll also be seeing again the possibility of that rainfall continuing through the area. And of course, there's a look at your rain forecast. Be safe out there. Have a great day.
Thank you, Art. More than 100 people have now died after floodwaters swept through Texas last week. Dozens still missing. Widespread search and rescue efforts are continuing, as Lee Waldman reports.
After days of battling tough search conditions, determination to find every last missing person in the Texas floodwater persists.
It's our job never to assume or never presume that somebody's deceased. We're out here trying to find everybody alive.
In hard-hit Hunt, Texas, Christian Fell and his family are clearing feet of mud from their home, the home that nearly trapped him in rapidly rising water Friday morning.
When I opened the door, all this water started flooding back in, and I couldn't walk outside because it was like so powerful. I couldn't close the door.
Fell went into his bedroom, trying to get on furniture that was already floating above his head to no avail.
I tried to open up this door, but the door wouldn't open. And then that's when I saw that this window right here was broken, and I swam through it.
In the darkness, surrounded by water, he climbed up to this electrical meter. Fell stayed there waiting for help for 3 hours. He says there was no warning ahead of time.
Didn't have any alerts until the water was already like inside the house.
Across the Guadalupe River from Fell's home is Camp La Junta. Kelly Rabone's son, Braden and Brock, were saved from the rising water by their camp counselors.
Once the water came into his cabin, they moved the boys from their lower bunks to then the upper bunk, and then ultimately hoisted them up into the rafters.
In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Lee Waldman.
The Trump administration is facing criticism over recent National Weather Service cuts. The White House press secretary says, though, the agency provided early and consistent warnings. Stick with News 8 now as we monitor the situation and provide you the updates you need. We'll have those for you on air and online. And miraculous rescue here at home, too. 7 people are safe after what's being called a miracle rescue near the Genoa Lock and Dam. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says a boat went through the roller gates when its engine stalled. The people tried to paddle away, they say, but they had to abandon their boat and climb a ladder to safety. The fire chief says in his 42 years, he's rarely seen anyone survive going through the dam.
Normally in these type of events, things don't work out very well. So it was pretty awesome thing that they survived it. And we can't give these people that work here enough credit for helping them out.
Incredible work by all, and officials say boaters should avoid getting to the north end of the dam due to those strong currents. A Winona man charged with murder gets a $1 million bond. 38-year-old Jacob Claver is accused of killing 37-year-old Josh Pigney last month in a Holman home. Police found Pigney dead in a bedroom with signs of a violent struggle. Claver faces life in prison if convicted. 2 Eau Claire neighbors accused of sexually abusing children in their neighborhood faced preliminary hearings today. 82-year-old Robert Karstensen is held on a $1 million bond. 54-year-old James Barbie on a $250,000 bond. Both face multiple charges for alleged sexual abuse involving at least 5 child victims between 2014 and 2022. The alleged abuse happened at both men's properties. Police say both of them admitted to inappropriate contact with children. Both hearings are set for 2:30. New this morning, Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman is out of the ICU. Hoffman and his wife were shot in their home last month. Just 90 minutes later, former state representative Melissa Hortman, her husband, and their dog were gunned down in their own home. Hoffman was shot 9 times. The suspected shooter, 57-year-old Vance Bolter, faces murder charges and could get the death penalty. Wisconsin passed its biennial state budget. Now the question on everyone's mind is, will Governor Tony Evers seek re-election? News 8 Now's Allison Fergit sought out some answers.
Governor Tony Evers said he will make an announcement on whether he's seeking re-election after the state budget has been finalized. Now that that's happened, members of both parties are anxiously awaiting his decision. Governor Evers in Eau Claire today to celebrate the state's budget being signed into law. But now Wisconsinites are wondering if they'll see Governor Evers' name on the ballot in 2026.
It's going to happen soon.
Will it happen soon?
Yeah, not in this moment, but soon. I'd say in a couple of weeks for sure.
If Evers decides to seek a 3rd term, he could face an uphill climb. A recent Marquette poll found that 55% of Wisconsinites don't want Evers to run again. As Evers weighs his decision, political science professor Anthony Chergosky says the recent state budget will factor heavily into it.
Does he view this as a legacy budget that he can brag about as he retires, or does he want to try to build on this budget through running for re-election?
While Chergosky says it's a toss-up, Evers might run again because of the chance that Democrats take control of the state Senate.
But they got a real shot at the state Senate majority, and that would really shake up government in Madison.
But Chergosky added that Evers' age might lead him to pass the torch. If he were to do that, Chergosky says there's already a front runner for who would succeed him.
I think Josh Kaul would be the clear front runner because as the Attorney General, he has won 2 statewide elections, and that would give him a lot of credibility within the party.
But Chergosky expects more Democrats to throw their hat in the ring if there's an open seat. And while Democrats are waiting for Evers' decision, Chergosky said the announcement will also impact who enters the race for Republicans.
There are Republicans out there who might think they have a better or worse chance depending on if Evers runs. Because running against an incumbent is a very different story than running against someone who's not an incumbent, running for the open seat.
Republican Josh Schoeman has already entered the race for the governorship, but some other Republicans who have had their names floated around are Representative Tom Tiffany and former Senate candidate Eric Hovde. Reporting in Eau Claire, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
And you can fight hunger while enjoying some free music Thursday night. Moon Tunes is teaming up with Rotary Lights for a food drive at Riverside Park. For years, Rotary Lights has offered free train rides to kids at Moon Tunes. Now they're expanding their mission to help feed hungry families.
If without Rotary Lights, we wouldn't have a Rotary Lights kiddie train. So it kind of brings it full circle for the kids to see as well that their parents, hey, we support people, we need to support our community, and we're all a community, we need to work together.
From 5:30 to 8, you can bring non-perishable food items or money to donate down to Moon Tunes. The most needed items include beans, peanut butter, and canned fruit. In your morning medical news, a federal judge temporarily blocks a Trump administration ban on Planned Parenthood funding. Planned Parenthood sued over a provision in the new tax law that cut their funding. The new law prohibits Medicaid users from getting coverage at health providers that also offer abortion services. Planned Parenthood warns nearly 200 clinics nationwide could be forced to close, mostly in states where abortion is legal. The CDC is ending its emergency response to H5N1 bird flu. The agency cited a drop in cases. No human infections have been reported since February. The emergency response was declared in April 2024 to allow for additional support, like increased staffing. A Health and Human Services spokesperson says the CDC will continue monitoring the virus and scale up resources as needed. And now we will send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He has another look at our morning commute. You're going to need the sunglasses and the umbrella today, Art, right?
Yes, 100% on that one as well. Again, yeah, the sunshine is trying to pop out, but we still have some shower potential still in the forecast. Of course, it's a low risk, but you continue on. Look at that sunshine that she's just been talking about, Alexander's just mentioning. Man, it is absolutely gorgeous. All right, so the fog tracker is still showing you that fog is a possibility for your forecast today. It's not too inhibiting. You're still seeing some areas that are in some dense fog, like the possibility for areas. This was like 5 o'clock. Let's get into the 6 o'clock hour. You can see still that fog is still kind of lingering, and we'll take down some folks down to a dense fog by Viroqua, Sparta as well, and then down to Boscoville. That will end by the 9 o'clock hour. Zone forecast taking you into those low to middle 80s. A lot of folks grouped into this area, holding on to those low to middle 80s. You can see right there, 85 you get into Bars Mills, and then going right into areas right by Lynxville. You're holding on to 85 degrees there. Prairie du Chien about 85 degrees. You'll take it right over to Richland Center, looking at 85 degrees there, and Hillsborough about 83 degrees with storm activity still a part of your forecast. So you'll still see some of these areas picking up some storm and shower potential as we go right through the central zone. This is where it's going to be mostly focused, as you can see, as well as down southward as well along I-90. You'll pick up some of this continuing on as you get into Stanley as well, then right into 82 degrees for you. You're also picking up areas right by Chippewa Falls for Eau Claire. You're looking at temperatures in those low to middle 80s. So as we finish out, you've got some shower and storm activity continue on through the morning hours. You can see it right there as we finish out through the next few days. As I mentioned before, low 80s are going to be in your forecast, and continuing on to middle 80s in the forecast by Wednesday, Thursday. Storm activity for Friday returning yet again. Back to you.
Coming up in your Morning Buzz report, Black Sabbath rocking out for one final time. We'll have more on the end of their 60-year run.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
What is a floor's favorite type of music? Anything with a good beat. Why is a carpet fitter so good at dancing? Because he's always cutting the rug. What is a floor's favorite way to win? A clean sweep. What did the rug say to the floor? I got you covered. At Sealands Carpeting, where our #1 priority is you. Stop in today. This lady's fantastic.
It well, it's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardians at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardians can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardians and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardians may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardians. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardians is really swell, the little pill with a big story to tell.
Confidence isn't given, it's built. One choice, one moment, one step at a time. How you feel is how you play. It starts with a click. Invisalign.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
All right, well, good morning to you. Taking a look at that rainfall, as I mentioned before, coming out of the river there and working straight to Holman and as well as La Crosse. You're picking up that rainfall. You can still see it kind of cutting through, heading for Sparta, Black River Falls. This is the area that's picking up the most so far of rainfall. Continue to track out of the region eventually, but more will start to work down to the south as well. I can't disclude areas right by Onalaska as well as Eau Claire. You've got a chance of about 9 o'clock, still holding on to a 30% chance of that. And of course, that could still spark a storm. So please be advised about that and stay weather aware. Through the morning hours, you're still seeing, even though the rainfall has been kicking through, you're not seeing anything showing up here because it's about a 20% chance of that occurring through the day. We've got the fog and low cloud activity that's still with us right now. It's not hampering anyone's forecast right now. As well as this early morning, we've been seeing traffic going pretty well on the roadways right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. But these showers and storms continue to track. You can see it diminishing a little bit by the 11 o'clock hour. Still, it starts to end by about the noon hour or so, but then more lighter showers start to work back in. Take a look up to the north, though. You've got heavier rainfall, but that's not really in the region. Currently, you can see that's out of the region, but it will still spark more showers tracking back down to the south. And as that does, well, we could see more showers actually touching Eau Claire, getting into areas right by, again, Marshfield, back down to along I-90 as well, continuing down to the region. You can see Black River Falls still picking up a little bit of that, as well as Sparta. Storm activity comes back again, crossing the river, going from Prairie du Chien to Boscobel. Richland Center can get touched with that down to the southeastern quadrant of their area. Then it's up and out. We'll carry over all the way into tomorrow for the morning hours, getting back into fog. Then the afternoon looks great with temperatures back in the low to middle 80s. You also see the possibility of some temperatures down to about those 84 degrees for La Crosse, 83 for Prairie du Chien, 82 for areas by Boscobel. Then we finish out the nighttime going into Thursday back in the early morning hours. And then, of course, we may see a little bit of patchy fog, but you're also looking at limited amounts of rainfall, right? So we're getting some night rainfall possibly coming back again. Some of that may come in earlier by the late morning, I should say the late afternoon hours. And then we see some clearing skies working into the forecast. So those night storms may come back again as the latter portion going into deeper portions of the early morning hours for Friday. Okay, so that's happening. For Wednesday, we're looking at temperatures from 76 or so to about 85 degrees. We'll keep up with the rainfall for today. We're looking at maybe a 1/10 of an inch up there by Eau Claire. Down to the south, maybe 1.5 inches or less in the forecast, working down to about a 1/2 inch for La Crosse or less. We'll get into the next few days, though. As I mentioned, Thursday night rainfall. You can see Thursday night rainfall is still looking diminished, but once you get into Friday is rainfall all day. That continues into portions of early morning Saturday, and then we'll roll right into the next few days, holding on to temperatures in the middle 80s. I've changed this up a little bit. Middle 80s still continue on with storm activity for Friday, and then a break for Saturday afternoon. Sunday as well looks great, and then Monday and Tuesday of next week is also much warmer in the middle to upper 80s. Back to you.
In your Morning Buzz report, an emotional farewell for rock legends Black Sabbath over the weekend. The heavy metal pioneers hitting the stage in their hometown of Aston, England, in what was billed as the band's final performance. Frontman Ozzy Osbourne was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2020, and earlier this year said he can no longer walk. And Oscar winner Michael Douglas announcing he may be done acting. Douglas says he would only return to the big screen if, quote, something special came up. The 80-year-old has starred in classic movies like Wall Street and Fatal Attraction. He's been working in Hollywood for more than 60 years now.
Been obsessed with the home run as long as I can remember. And the event that made it must-see TV, the Home Run Derby. Do you think I can hit a home run?
In wiffle ball, yes.
Roy Wood Jr. talks with some of baseball's biggest names as he delves into the evolution of the Home Run Derby and what makes the homer one of the most anticipated events in sports. Going, Gone is streaming now.
Numbers all go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder.
This is Spinal Tap's 41st anniversary re-release, grossed more than $1 million with limited show times, prompting distributors to add more play dates today, tomorrow, and Thursday. A sequel, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, is due out September 12th. Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8. Nova is turning 8 weeks. Nova loves to spend time with friends and family. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now. A little bit of a remix is coming up next.
Dutch Boy. It's only paint. It's only paint that goes on easy with a super smooth finish. It's only paint that battles even the toughest challenges, like keeping that neon orange under wraps. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only durable, dependable, change your life both professionally and romantically. Dutch Boy paint.
This is Tony, and this is Tony's Good Feet story.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job. Before my arch supports, I felt defeated, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I'm more positive.
Clinically proven, significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out. I would recommend it to anyone.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
There are days I feel stuck in my head. Even on an antidepressant, lingering depression symptoms can make it hard to break through. I wanted more from my antidepressant. I asked about Vraylar. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant significantly reduces overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone.
Vraylar isn't approved for elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death. Weight gain and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness and feeling like you need to move, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar, breaking through to relief. Ask about Vraylar.
Dahl Honda is proud to sponsor News 8 Now's Top Notch Teacher Program. It's always a highlight of our month to recognize the top-notch teacher and thank them for all they do for our students in school. Dahl Honda values the great work all teachers do for our children and community. If you know a teacher who deserves top-notch teacher recognition, please nominate them. Thank you, teachers, for going above and beyond and providing a top-notch education.
The Brewers are coming to the Coulee region.
And there she goes!
Yeah, you heard that right. All summer long, you can catch the Brewers right here and for free. No pay-per-view, no subscription, just good old reliable free TV the way the baseball gods intended it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action as News 8 now brings you 10 games throughout the summer.
A grand slam for Christian.
The Brewers playing here? You're welcome. The Milwaukee Brewers on News 8 now.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Have you ever wondered what makes people seem cool? Researchers believe they've cracked the code, identifying 6 traits that cool people have in common. And they found that those traits are extroverted, hedonistic, powerful, adventurous, open, and autonomous. One researcher says the most surprising thing was that the same cool criteria emerge in every country. Time now for your morning news now. More than 100 people are dead after catastrophic flooding in central Texas, but that number would be higher without heroic rescuers. One is a father who died helping his daughter cling to a tree so she could survive. Some survivors from camps praised their counselors for quick thinking.
They moved the boys from their lower bunks to then the upper bunk, and then ultimately hoisted them up into the rafters.
One Coast Guard swimmer says he gave up his spot in a helicopter to fit more children from Camp Mystic. He says initially he was the only first responder on the ground, and now he is credited with helping save 165 children rescued from that camp. New this morning, Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman is out of the ICU. Hoffman and his wife were shot in their home last month. Just 90 minutes later, former state representative Melissa Hortman, her husband, and their dog were gunned down in their home. Hoffman was shot 9 times. The suspected shooter, 57-year-old Vance Bolter, faces murder charges and could get the death penalty. Governor Tony Evers celebrating signing the state budget in Eau Claire yesterday. There he is. Now Wisconsinites are wondering if they'll see his name on the 2026 ballot. If Evers seeks a third term, he faces an uphill climb. A recent Marquette poll found 55% of Wisconsinites don't want him to run again. Political science professor Anthony Chergosky says the recent state budget will factor heavily into his decision.
Does he view this as a legacy budget that he can brag about as he retires, or does he want to try to build on this budget through running for re-election?
Chergosky says it's a toss-up. He could run because Democrats could take control of the Senate, but his age could lead him to pass the torch.
Possible showers along I-94 as well as I-90 this early morning. You can see it right here going from La Crosse, coming across the river, going towards Black River Falls, and then also touching Sparta as well. We'll see more of that later on this morning as well as in the afternoon and possibly into the evening hours. Maybe about a ½ inch or less in the forecast, maybe down to the south. We could see maybe 1.5 inches or so as you get into Winona. As we take it into the next few days, we're looking at mostly low to middle 80s in your forecast. Thunderstorm possibilities coming back again for Friday, and that's an all-day event, possibly turning into early morning Saturday as a few storms. Back to you.
All right, looking like a July forecast indeed. Thank you, Art, and thank you for waking up with us. Coming up at noon, farmers in Eau Claire and Menominee are getting a major equipment boost. We'll tell you about the new facility keeping their tractors running when we see you at noon.